Hi guys, Peter here. Once again, thanks for joining me on my channel. Right, I've been sent a very interesting article by Michael, who is still in Bangkok, and I'd like to read this article out to you today. The reason I think it's interesting is because it was written by a Western woman who's a teacher in Thailand. Now, I don't know how long ago this article was written. It could be a number of years. So when she mentions anything to do with pricing, the prices might not be correct, or exchange rates, that sort of thing. But it's an interesting article. Now, when I read this, I kind of took this in a kind of negative way. And what I mean by that is, now she's obviously living there for quite some time. There's lots of ways you can look at your environment where you live. And I'll often be in a bar in Thailand, and I come across these foreigners who they constantly moan about Thailand. They tell you things they don't like about Thailand. It's never a positive outlook. And I always think to myself, look, why are you even here? You shouldn't be here. You can let me know what you think, guys, in the comments. I'll read these 10 things out that this lady has written. As I say, I think it's quite interesting, negative but interesting. And then what I'll do, I'll link in a video that I made several months ago. I'll link it in the description, and I'll put it as a suggested video at the end of reading this article out. And that's 20 the video's called 20 Things I Love About Thailand, and you'll see I've got a completely different outlook on this lady when it comes to Thailand. 10 things no one tells you about Thailand. I'm sure you're aware that Thailand is an exceptionally beautiful country with a wealth of natural wonders, mouth-watering food that you'll long to replicate, and people so quick to open their hearts and make you feel at home. There are deep jungles to explore, tropical islands to escape to, and waterfalls to swim in. It is only once you've lived here for a little longer than 2 weeks that you'll discover the side of Thailand that no one told you about and wasn't advised in your dreamy brochure. Living or taking a holiday here is idyllic, but here are a few things no one may have told you about Thailand. 1. Toilets cannot flush toilet paper. While this may seem like an obvious function of a toilet, toilets and their pipes cannot handle toilet paper. Restaurants and public toilets all have signs pleading with you to throw it in the open bin instead. I've been reprimanded by an old Thai woman manning the toilets at a gas station for not bringing my used toilet paper out with me and throwing it in the shared bin beside the sink. Even if I had known, I would still choose her wrath over the unhygienic act. If you try to defy this rule and flush it down, know that your toilet will need regular plunging. 2. It is not as cheap as you think. Okay, if you're coming here with the power of 70 baht to the pound, life is going to be easy on you. Prices will differ depending on your location. Non-tourist areas in Thailand will be way kinder on your wallet than, say, Pattaya or Phuket. Whilst there is a lot of cheap Thai food, you have to be willing to share the outdoors with mosquitoes in the makeshift wooden restaurants. If you move indoors to a place with air conditioner, prices increase greatly, 200 to 500 baht per meal, and become so expensive if you live here. One visit to the doctor has set me back 3,000 baht for a shot and tablets. Visa runs every 90 days at least will set you back a small fortune, plus 1,900 baht to extend it by 30 days. If you leave the country, you'll need to pay for transport, accommodation, plus the tourist visa. If you want to live and work here, the non-immigrant B visa will set you back 2,000 baht, single entry, and 5,000 baht, multiple entry, and that's not counting the work permit fee that will follow. 3. Tourism has taken over. Because Thailand has become one of the world's most marketable holiday destinations with great deals on flights and travel packages, it is constantly filled with tourists. The islands especially have become home to more Europeans than Thai people. Thai people have sold their beach properties only to have luxury resorts and restaurants along the coastline. Koh Lanta is known to some as the Swedish island, to the large amount of Swedish settlers making a living there. Koh Phangan, Israeli, with many kosher outlets, and Koh Samui is what I like to call tropical Russia. My class consists of Russian and Thai kids. My husband teaches English to adult Russian students. My yoga instructor is Russian. Most restaurants have Russian in their menus, and nowadays I hear more Russian than Thai. Number 4. The king is everywhere. The Thai king is deeply loved and respected by Thai people. Old and recent photographs of the king and his wife will be found in every store, restaurant and school. They speak very fondly of him, and school children have to sing the royal anthem alongside the Thai anthem at least once a week. At the cinema, when the king's tribute comes on the screen and everyone stands up, you will have to stand up too as a sign of respect for their king. I warn you, the tribute is an emotional one to watch. Number 5. Couples with the largest age gaps. I doubt there is a place on earth where you will find as many European men over the age of 60 married to women in their 20s. When people first visit here, they are shocked to see Thai girls with men old enough to be their grandfathers. If you live here, it becomes a norm to see grey-haired men holding their newly born babies. European men settle here on a retirement visa, marry Thai girls and start second families. A Thai friend of mine explained that many Thai girls do it for security, to be able to send their kids to good schools and to be able to look after their parents and send their money home every month. She said that for many years her Thai friends do not learn English and their husbands do not know Thai, resulting in lots of fighting and misunderstandings. She says she refuses to marry an old man for these same reasons and wants to marry only for love. Number 6. You will always be sweaty. Don't get me wrong, I am a true sun seeker and love heat, but never before have I been this hot all day, every day. Like any humid tropical place, there is no reprieve from the heat when in the shade, indoors or in the ocean. About 38 degrees Celsius. You will sweat while you sleep, when you wake, right after you shower and even change clothing, unless you have a fierce air conditioner that never leaves your side. There are no cold days in the south of Thailand, and the coolest I've ever been outside is while riding a scooter. If you wish to not change your clothes at least 3 times a day, do not visit the islands in April and May. 7. Thai people cannot drive cars. When it comes to scooters, Thai people rule. They drive scooters from school age up until they can barely walk anymore. Mums ride with their babies and toddlers. Families fit 4 people on one scooter and their dog. But as many male Thai friends admit, Thai people, including himself, cannot drive cars. On the island there seems to be a trend of buying a big Hilux van and SUVs, but after years of only driving scooters, that's exactly how cars are driven, like scooters. Drivers will frequently accelerate and deaccelerate throughout a drive, and when turning, most vehicles come to a complete halt before turning into a driveway. On a scooter, you can zoom between cars at speed, but here, big vans overtake cars by veering completely into the lane of oncoming traffic, seemingly forgetting their size. 8. Mosquitoes and other tropical life forms. If you think you know what it's like to live with a lot of mosquitoes, think again. You can burn all the oil, dot your house with sprigs of lemongrass and layer your skin with repellent, and you will still get bitten daily. And if you're lucky, it won't be a dengue fever carrier which gets its victims during the day. Ants are everywhere, but here they're big red ones which have a stinging bite which causes swelling and intense itching. Even the small ants bite into thick bags of coffee, rice, muesli and creep into containers of peanut butter. Anything edible has to stay in our fridge. Oh, and we have pythons in our garden. Number 9. When it rains, you'll be without running water, electricity and Wi-Fi. These are the extreme days which come around at random intervals. Otherwise, on any rainy days, roads will flood, and going anywhere without a plastic poncho is complete lunacy. During the monsoon season, it can rain for a full week without stopping at all. Stock up on candles and save water for teeth brushing. 10. Thai bar girls. We all know about the ping pong shows, ladyboys and dodgy farangs, but you may be surprised to see how socially accepted the practice of Thai bar girls really is. Prostitution in Thailand became huge to generate income from the US troops stationed in Thailand during the Vietnam War. Thai people do not view the bar girls as working girls in the same way as the Western world does. On one hand, these girls come from exceptionally poor areas and are undereducated and work to support their families in the villages. They are bound to the bars they work for and fined if they don't make a certain amount of money per day. Their only key to leaving is if a foreign man buys them out. On the other hand, many foreigners fall for bar girls and become one of many men to send monthly amounts to their devoted Thai girlfriends, which in turn is sent home to the girl's parents. There are even hotels where guests can order a girl along with their room for the duration of their stay. If all you want is a massage, steer clear from the parlours where the ladies are wearing hot pants and heels. This is where they offer a whole lot more than just a massage. A final word, if you're simply visiting for a short while, then you'll be glad to know that you can easily search for accommodations that meet your budget requirements when you use the right outline hotel booking platform. Whenever you're planning your stay in Koh Samui, Phuket, Krabi, Koh Phangan, Koh Chang, Koh Tao or Koh Larn, you'll be able to filter your search based on what you're willing to spend and what sort of property you want to stay in. I'm actually glad that she finished on a positive note there. Okay, but generally speaking, I think she's got quite a negative attitude. I mean, the one thing that jumps out of the screen at me was a line that says, Thai people do not view the bar girls as working girls the same way as we do in the West. So she's obviously got that typical kind of Western attitude that some, not all, some Western women have when they visit Thailand. All right, so I hope you guys find that interesting. I find it very, very interesting, else obviously I wouldn't have made this video. But as I said at the beginning of the video, go and have a look at my video. It's 20 things I love about Thailand, and that flips the coin on its head or on the other side, and that'll give you a very positive perspective on Thailand. All right, guys, thanks for watching again, and I'll catch up with you all soon.